to $80 million in total if she can stick with the marriage for some time. Vikki Ziegler is a practicing family law attorney who has represented many high-profile athletes and is founder of DivorceDating.com. Vikki, that's a lot of coin. Do you think, there are reports, is that really necessary?
Well, I think it's necessary for both of them. Obviously, Ellen trying to get as much money as she can and get some financial security. If he's going to go out and cheat on her again, then at least she knows she has the money, she can take care of her children and move on. From Tiger Woods' standpoint, certainly he needs this image definitely fixed. I mean, at this point, people are saying, what else is in the closet? There's probably 4 or 5 women now potentially coming out and saying they've had affairs with him. So he needs serious damage control if he wants to keep all of his endorsements, keep the money flowing in, and actually just save face. At this point, I don't know if we're going to see Tiger for some time. So he needs to really get back on track and make sure that people and his fans say, hey, you're doing the right thing, giving her money, trying to step up and continue to be a family man.
But is this unprecedented, though? I mean, okay, he cheated. He's a lying pig. I'm going to stay with you, you lying pig, but you need to pay me more to do it. That's basically what we're saying here, right?
I think so. In a nutshell, it's not unprecedented. And for me, from my perspective, what I do every day, this is quite common with high-profile individuals and people that have a lot of money. Because this is not an uncommon circumstance where somebody cheats or does something reprehensible, and the wife says, listen, I still love you. I'm not sure if I can forgive you, but give me some financial security. Because remember, the reports are that the prenuptial agreement says, unless you hit the 10-year mark, you're not getting $20 million. Right. So if she was to divorce him now, she'd probably get little or nothing. So come on, she's got to do something here if she still loves him. If she doesn't, listen, get out of the marriage. It's not worth it. But you do have 2 small children, so making sure that maybe you can make it work, great. And also, Tiger, if you go cheat again and you're going to give her $50, $80 million, he may think about it a little more before he goes out philandering. So that's
this isn't about love anymore. This is business.
I know.
It's business.
Well, we're applying these lessons to everybody's life. Everybody, it is 6 minutes after the hour. I'm Dagan McDowell along with Tracy Burns, and we want to welcome our radio listeners on Sirius XM. This is the Fox Business Network. We are here to answer your questions about your money, and that does include your marriage, your divorce.
Because it can be expensive. Call us, 877-249-9626. You can always email us yourmoney@foxbusiness.com.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Because we've got some excitement coming up in the next few minutes. Vikki, but how prevalent are prenuptial agreements today among everybody? Do people need a prenup, even if they don't have a lot of money?
Yeah, I think people should go to an attorney and talk about what their assets are, because at the end of the day, if you potentially have an inheritance that you want to keep separate, but you're not sure about the tax ramifications, you have some estate planning, prenuptial agreements are something that people should look into. If you don't have that much, I mean, you really come into the marriage, both of you on the same playing field, so to speak, and you don't have much, not necessarily a necessity, but I think it's important that everyone just go consult with an attorney for an hour. You pay their fee and let them tell you in your state what the laws are and whether or not it's necessary to have a prenuptial agreement. I like for anybody that has perhaps a decent income with some assets to absolutely have one.
And sometimes the asset can be a dog. It can be pets. That's a
pet custody is a huge issue right now.
If you bring an animal into
experience or anything.
No. But if you come into the marriage with a pet, there was a recent case of a woman who broke off with her fiance. And she spent like 6 figures getting the dogs back.
We have a current case.
Yeah, well, I believe that.
Yeah,
so I digress.
Absolutely, it's a major issue. We have pet custody experts right now because one person wants to either share custody, and ultimately sometimes we find the animal doesn't live long because somebody would rather have a dead animal and give it to their spouse. So unfortunately, it's a real issue.
How easy is it to go back and redo a prenup? Let's say it's not, right?
No, you need 2 willing participants. So if one person wants to and the other person doesn't, you have a major problem on your hands. So in the Tiger Woods circumstance, renegotiating, we call it a post-nup now after they're after they're married. Yeah, they both want to, but if one person does and one person doesn't, you have no shot. You got to go to court and try to fight it, try to invalidate it, say it's unfair. And the key is to do the work before you enter into the prenuptial agreement.
Yeah, so Tiger's just being a good guy, but in typical situations, this would not happen.
No, if he said, listen, we're done, our marriage is over, I'm going to court enforcing the prenup, and you're basically getting whatever it says, oh, she's got a major problem on her hands.
Later, I want to talk about cheap, quick divorces, how to keep costs down when you get divorced, because that's a huge issue right now. What? I'm serious.
The Tiger Woods drama. Well, good luck with that.
Thanks for calling in so early.
All right, we're going to head out to the plaza. Gary from South Carolina is out there with a question. Hey, Gary, what's your question?
Good morning. I was wondering, with the economy and the shape it's in, if it's cheaper as far as Tiger Woods' divorce to stay together in the long run.
Oh, wow.
Is that a sinister laugh? Can I make it more sinister?
Vikki? I would say for Tiger Woods, no, he's in a different league based upon the prenuptial agreement. But I think for most of middle America, I think it makes sense because people can't sell their homes. Their 401k and retirement assets are actually way down in their stock accounts. So for people at this point, getting divorced may not be the best economic plan. And really looking to the experts, making sure that you go and find out actually what you would have to pay your spouse in terms of the income. Because remember, a lot of people are losing their jobs at this point. So the income and the lifestyle that the people were actually at is much less. So getting to the experts, the financial advisors, the divorce attorneys, to weigh your pros and cons and determine whether or not your financial package makes sense to wait until you really can kind of get your accounts back up or not.
By the way, Gary, I just want to say one thing. Tiger Woods is the first athlete in history to achieve $1 billion in career earnings. So he's got no money problems, ever. Ever. Well, unless he...
But he certainly has love issues at home. Dom, have you been seeing this at all? Do you have clients that come in and say, we're thinking about this, our accounts are underwater?
Vicki's actually 100% right on this one. I actually have had clients that in the past 12 months that have come in wanting to divorce. They cannot afford to get divorced.